thing that I don't do is lie. The Democratic Party, their constituents are not American people. They are the illegal immigrants, the rapists, the murderers. That's who they are. For those of us that have been down these rabbit holes on the Pope and all this stuff, oh yeah. My statement that I put out on Facebook, I stand by it 100%. The dude was we have one less pedophile on this planet. But he was dead a while. This is something that the deep state does. You know, they'll have one of their main players actually die, and they won't tell the public until they can benefit from it. They did it with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You know, and
that was another one. Yeah, how can you confirm that though? You know what I'm saying? It's like we will never know, right?
Washington D.C., the Vatican, and the City of London. Those are your three hubs of the deep state.
Right.
Because I have a list of about 20 people in this Ex-JW community that I know for 100% fact that they're controlled opposition and they do this shit.
Ooh.
Stop playing,
Really?
Yes.
Stop playing, Jimmy.
Right.
So what do? They call on their little pawns in the Ex-JW community and say, hey, we need you to attack these people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
That is insane.
100% fact. One thing that I don't do is lie. If you hear any politician come out this week and say, "Oh, Trump is wrong on the prescription drug thing. This is not right," then you know that they have no interest in the interest of the American people. One thing that I don't do is lie.
So now it's like I don't believe anything that's in a textbook now.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything that's in a book anymore. I don't believe anything that a teacher teaches you or a college teaches you. I don't believe none of that anymore.
Yep.
I already know that though when the documents came out of Argentina that Hitler actually survived 2 years longer than what they said that so he didn't kill himself. And now we know that as a fact from the president of Argentina releasing that stuff.
Yep.
I mean, that right there would put all of that to rest. I would believe it now because like I told you, the textbook teaches you one thing in school. You learn a whole nother reality of how history played out when you're an adult later in life, when you finally wake up. So now it's like I don't believe anything that's in a textbook now.
Yeah.
Never.
AG Bondi reveals there are tens of thousands of videos showing Epstein with children, and I do not doubt that one bit.
And I think that guy is still alive too.
I
think he's still alive in jail somewhere, being tortured or something.
I do too. I don't think he's dead, but
I don't think he's dead either. I don't know. Oh, did you see that clip where Cash? Was it a Congress thing, a hearing or something where, what's that guy's name? The old senator. He says, "Are you gonna release it before I die?" And he was like,
"No, I didn't see that."
Okay, yeah, that was a funny clip, and Cash was like, I don't know, like I believe he did die in a prison. He gave the political correct answer, and the senator was not having it, and I forgot who it was already. Yeah, so, and I do like that Trump is posting these things. It's like he's keeping us up to tabs on what he's doing, and I never felt like this from any other president. That like if we're in the room with him, you know what I mean? Like if we're there, watching everything that he's doing, that he's signing, that he's talking about, he's on there talking to us. Being the communication from this administration is so nice.
Well, it's called transparency, something we haven't seen.
True.
From a lot of the presidents in the past. We're seeing transparency. And then when that stuff comes out, then the media, of course, they have to play blocker, and then they come out with their own crap that they want to put in their own headlines that are fake, phony, and false. And I love it when Trump calls them out during the press conferences.
Right. Yeah. I just feel more involved as a citizen, as a taxpayer, as, somebody who's participating in society. Because I'm only 20. Oh, my birthday just passed. So I'm 29 now, right? I've only had, like, what, 4 presidents? George Bush when I was like 5, Obama, Biden, and Trump. So they're the only 4 presidents that I have consciousness of their administration. So
Right.
I don't have that much experience when it comes to watching a president, watching the administration and what they're doing and how they're handling things. So the only examples that I have is like really, really, really bad, which is Biden in my opinion, and then the complete opposite, which is Trump. So when you're talking to young people in America, that's the only things we know is what we've seen from Obama, Biden, and Trump now.
Yep.
So it's different for us. If I'm looking at it, I would say Trump is the best president in my lifetime because I'm too young to remember. And if there was an older president that was good,
right,
you guys would know that. But
right.
I can't compare that to anything except Biden, Obama, and Bush, and now
right.
Trump. So just wanted to put that perspective. A long time ago, I wanted to talk about the South Africa thing, and I never really got to it. But really quickly, that was a huge issue that Trump exposed, that the blacks were killing the white farmers in South Africa.
Right.
And they were literally being genocided. You know, whether or not it's political or racial, I don't think it matters. But that's exactly why when I brought up the segregation stance was because that was a problem for them. And it currently is, that they were promoting the death of these people just because they were white. And my stance was, well, why don't they leave that country? Like, if you know that you are being targeted and you are not welcomed, regardless of whether or not you were born and raised there, if that happened, why wouldn't you leave and go back to where you actually come from? You know, like ancestrally, they are British, right? They immigrated there hundreds of years ago. And now that there's a political issue, why don't they move back to England?
Right.
And some people may, kind of compare that to segregation, because if they cannot coexist with one another as South Africans, whether or not they're black or white, would you leave? I mean, that's a huge issue. So in my opinion, I would have been like, they should have picked up and took the first flight next, the next flight out and go back to where you really come from. That country is theirs. Now, if we talk about it in American terms, people are having an issue with the, descendants of slaves or, white people in America, whatever it is, right? But are they picking up and leaving if it's that big of an issue? No, they're not. They stay here, but they still complain about it. Those people are actually getting killed over it. And they are leaving. They are seeking, asylum because of that. So those batches of people that are coming to this country, and some may call it immigration, I would also be in favor of immigration in that situation.
Well, that's you're seeking asylum. You're seeking,
right.
People are trying to kill you.
For real,
there's a difference than you had all these migrant caravans coming over. They weren't escaping anybody coming and trying to kill them or whatever. They were being paid to get in there and go do that. And so that's wrong. But you have people over here that are literally losing their homes, everything, their lives, and they're asking for asylum. Yeah, okay. I'm going to be like, I'm going to give you're going to go through a check, but let's start the process and get you safe.
Right. But that's my point, is that even though you are fifth generation, right? Steen says, well, that's like asking fifth generation blacks in the US to go back to Africa. But let's just put ourselves in their shoes and let's say that those people were actually being killed just because of their race. You wouldn't take your family and go back to where you really come from, regardless of what generation you are in. You see, that's what I'm saying. It's like, why are you fighting to stay in a place where you are not welcomed, where you're actually getting killed over it? So I do support the immigration, the asylum seekers for people that are fleeing because they're getting killed over it.
Yeah.
Put you in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Tell me, baby, how to generate longevity. Tell me,